In the garden of his home in Ternopolje, 78-year-old Muharrem passes his retirement in silence. His two sons, Emin and Emir, were in their early 20s when they were both killed at Koricani Cliffs. After 27 years, he's now been told that their remains have finally been found.
A jawbone was found 10 or 12 years ago, but they didn't know which of them it belonged to. Now the full remains were found in that mass grave.
Emin and Emir were exhumed from a site known as the Stone Mass Grave. The corpses were hidden under a thick layer of rocks. In August 1992, a group of more than 200 Bosniak men were transported to the edge of the ravine, made to kneel, and then shot dead by Bosnian Serb police. The corpses are only now being recovered. Verhedin's father, Farudin, was one of the victims who have now been identified. He will be buried in July.
For the most part, it's all about who was found and who wasn't. Have the people responsible for the crimes been prosecuted? Why some didn't get more prison time? Those sorts of things haunt us.
Teofik faces having to say goodbye to his brother Abbas all over again. He already buried some of Abbas's bones found at Koricani Cliffs. Now a significant portion of the rest of the skeleton has been identified.
It's not easy, but this time around you're stronger. Still, I thought I was done with this 5 years ago. I guess this time I'll get actual closure.
Once exhumed, the bones are forensically examined at this centre. 112 sets of remains are currently awaiting final identification here. The final number of newly identified victims will reach 180. 180 people whose relatives have spent nearly 3 decades wondering.
We have here remains of slain sons and their parents, siblings, neighbours, all kept here together. This is in a way a unique situation. You could say that this was a family mass grave.
Each victim has a story. Uza Cernica was a teacher in Prijedor.
Teacher Cernica was killed by one of his former students, and it was another one of his old students who found his remains. One committed the crime, and the other one did a good deed.
In 2004, the leader of the police unit which carried out the massacre was convicted of crimes against humanity and sentenced to 17 years in prison. But it's only now that these victims can be properly buried that their families can have closure. Paul Brennan, Al Jazeera.